The following is a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer. It's the Coach's Cage show on 3kgthecage.com. Check out our website, or you can hook onto us at our Facebook page at 3KG The Cage Community Broadcasting. We're here every Wednesday starting at 6 o'clock for all the coaches, and there's plenty of them to go around. So let's get started with Jim Sammons from the South Newton Rebels boys basketball team. Jim, good to see you. How you doing?
Good evening, Bob. Very well. Yourself?
I'm doing really well.
Good.
Well, we got some games to talk about
Yes,
since
sir.
The first of the year. You've had 4 to talk about, so
yes.
take it
played
away.
hooky last week, so we got some catching up to do. We got 4 games. We came back from break. We played a Beecher team from Illinois. It came over. They were ranked 5th in the state over there at 2A, I understand, and they were sitting at, I don't know, maybe 12-3 at the time, so we knew they were a legitimate team, and we'd come off 2 weeks of really not playing at all. And, I always hate that span right there where you don't have as much action. And they came in and they did a pretty good number on us. They had one kid that was a real good player, had 27 on us, and I think we ended up losing by 13 or 14. So, but after that, the next 3 games we rebounded back and played a lot better, especially in the second half of each of those games. We had a River Forest game that Friday, which happened to be a military game. They brought out the flag and all the pomp and circumstance there at halftime, which is always nice to be a part of. And we came back. We ended up winning that by 7 points after being down at halftime. Then Milford came in. We have a span here of 3 or 4 games. We were playing our Illinois schools right now.
Right.
It just so happens. Milford came in, and again we fell behind. Seems like we've been having some trouble starting games. Each of the past 3 games, I'd say at halftime we have anywhere between 15 and 19 points, but then we end up with 56 or so. So it's like, it's not until there's a sense of urgency that sometimes the kids start to play and start to say, hey, we got to start playing, otherwise we're going to lose this thing, or we're not going to have a chance.
At the start of the game.
Well, that's exactly right. So I don't know if we're bringing them in an hour early now and having them run wind sprints or playing pretend you're down 10 to begin with, or whatever it takes. But we ended up coming up short at Milford. Ended up losing by 1 point there. And then last night we were over at Cissna Park, and again we fell behind, double digits at halftime, and then came back storming, and ended up, I think we were down 15 at half, and then we ended up winning by 11. So, the boys
had
responded.
a strong second half.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And what has happened is we've ended up finding a third scorer. We've had Cy and Caden just religiously in double digits game after game, but we know it takes at least 3 in double digits, and then a couple other support players playing their roles in order to get on a roll, if you will, and start playing well as a team. And Will Smart has come along, and he had a game of 17 points the other night, and then he had 11 last night, and he had 10 rebounds, so he pulled in a double-double, and he's starting to open things up and making it a little easier for Cy and Garrett, to where they're not focused on as much. And so everybody's kind of, reaping the reward there, if you will. Garrett Sammons even had a 15-point game against River Forest in that victory, which was, his biggest of the year, maybe his biggest of his career, to be honest with you. So, we're starting to get those flashes there. We just need to sustain it for the full game as opposed to just a half. And we're rolling here and playing better at the right time of the year. So, I'm looking forward to finishing out the season and getting into sectional.
And what's your record now?
We're sitting at 5-7 right now.
You're halfway through the year.
Yeah,
Assess the first half. What do you think?
Yeah, we got about 10 games. Well, 7 of those losses, of the 7 losses, 4 of them were a combined 10 points. I mean, we had 3 games we lost by 3, and then the game that we lost by 1 point to Milford. And, those were stories of us kind of shooting ourselves in the foot, having a poor night shooting from the free throw line, be it 40% from the free throw line, but having umpteen free throws, but just not making them, getting more free throws than the other team, but just not hitting them when we needed to, or not executing, a certain defensive stop when we need to or whatever. And so, it's been a learning process there for the kids, and they took some lumps through those games, and I think they've learned from them, and I think we're seeing that turnaround now because of it.
And what do you expect the second half here?
Well, this second half, it's going to be quick. I mean, we've got another month and a half here, and it's going to be over. And I keep preaching that to the kids. You blink and it's gone. So we've got to take advantage of every opportunity we have. We have some, all respectable games are left. I mean, anybody can beat anyone on a given night. The records don't really matter, to be honest with you. It depends on, and especially with COVID going on, and who you got available, who you don't have available, who they have, who they don't have, how you're playing a certain night, et cetera, et cetera. You roll all that together, and you roll the dice, and you try to do the best you can, and I think we have a solid chance to be in just about every game we have left. And I'm looking to still hit that 500 mark, if not just over by the end of the season, going into sectional. I mean,
that was your goal. I remember you talking about that. That was the goal.
You're right, and it's still
year.
Attainable, even with the hiccups that we had along the way. But it's kind of sold it to the kids. Hey, you were that close. You could have been,
way up there. Yeah.
You could have been, 8-4 or whatever. Now.
Right.
You're that close. So it gives a little more credence to what we're trying to teach and show them there on the court in practice.
We're talking with Jim Sammons, South Newton coach, and what's up next for the Rebels?
We have Covenant Christian this Friday, which is also another military game, I was just told today. So we'll partake in that. So we're going up there, and they always give a solid game for us. It's a place that we haven't necessarily played real well over the years in the past up there, but we're looking to, like I said, rebound and turn that around and keep this train going in the right direction.
And let's see Tri-County next week.
And then after that, then we'll have a week. We'll have a week of preparation for Tri-County the
Hopefully,
following Friday.
Well,
God willing.
That by,
we'll ask Mark here.
That's right.
We'll
that
have
might
that
be
or
his.
not. But
That might be his first game back, right after
it
a
might
week
be
off.
because they've been out with close contact and COVID. When they had a kid positive, so. We'll deal with that when the time comes, and that'll be our homecoming. So there'll be a lot of emotion there. For that, and we're just looking forward to the opportunity to play, really. The kids are.
What about the junior varsity Rebels? How are they doing this year?
Junior varsity Rebels, they played one less game than us because Cissna Park didn't have a JV. So they're sitting at 7-4 right now. And actually, they're doing pretty well. We've got some sophomores and juniors on there because I'm so laden with seniors on the varsity that a lot of them get to play quality quarters at the JV level, which I think is going to bode well for the future. But that being said, they're having a lot more success at that level than we necessarily have in years past.
It's a good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Got to win wherever you can, right?
Yes, we'll take it.
That's right. All right, Jim, thanks for coming over. I appreciate it very much. And
I appreciate you guys.
We'll see you. I think we have the South Newton Tri-County game on 3KG.
Okay,
so,
wonderful.
We'll
see you there
probably
in about a
obligate.
week.
You're probably not going to be here next week because you alternate weeks, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
I'll try to have my assistant coach here.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jim.
Look forward to it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Jim Sammons from the South Newton Rebels. Back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's Pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan. Oh, come on, Ref! That's simple human sense.
The Conrad Agency in Fowler and Brook. Call 765-884-0530.
Back on the Coach's Cage. Jeffrey, are you there?
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, you
I
are
am.
there. All right. Cameraman Jeff Gastineau, Scotty Miller running the board back there, and we're set to finish off the South Newton portion of the night with Joseph Keller, girls coach. Joe, good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see you. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Well, let's catch up with the games you've had in January. Can you talk about those?
Yeah, we came back from Christmas break. We were quarantined over Christmas break, and so we came back practicing.
So you missed some tournaments then?
We missed our tournament down at Frankfurt, and we missed another regular season game that hopefully we'll get to make up. But so we came back off quarantine and had 4 or 5 practices before we played Cissna Park, who's one of our when we were in the conference in Illinois, it was one of our rivals there. And had a good game in the first half. It was we celebrated senior night because we figured there'd be quarantines happening, and we wanted to make sure we had fallback dates. And sure enough, one of our players got quarantined, so we'll have to do something for her. But so we did our senior night, and then we had a good first half. We turned the ball over a little bit too much, but we battled back, and we didn't shoot quite as well as we had hoped, but we were right in the game. It was a 7-point game at halftime, and felt pretty good about it, and then came out and we couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in the second half, and they ended up winning by 30 or more, but we just couldn't hit a shot, and we got some good looks, and we turned the ball over. We like to dribble into traps and not see those and give the ball to the other team, so they got some layups out of that, but we couldn't buy a bucket there in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, so we were proud of the effort in that first half and the results that we got. And then the second half, our effort was there, but the results weren't quite there. But it wasn't a bad game, and so we used that. And we were supposed to play North White on this following I can't who did we play Thursday night. We played somebody, I think. Milford.
Milford, yeah.
Yeah. So we were supposed to play North White before them, but it got rescheduled. So we played Milford on the Thursday night, and we were without 3 starters. We were without 2 starters on senior night for us. So playing well against a decent team without 2 starters, we felt pretty good about ourselves. Mm-hmm. Another starter got sick and left.
Oh man!
With the flu, the regular old flu. So we were down 3 starters against Milford, and we actually, the score doesn't indicate it, but we actually played pretty good basketball. Once again, we couldn't hit the broadside of the barn the whole game. We shot 11% from the field, which, I thought was one of the worst shooting nights I've ever seen. But we got good shots, and we had good opportunities, and, we just couldn't hit anything, and we were struggling to score. Our 3 leading scores were out, so, that it was difficult. But kids battled hard. We saw some really good things, and, couldn't do much against a veteran team, and that was a team we'd faced earlier in the year and lost by 12, I think, and it does make a big difference when those 3 kids are out, because they do a bulk of our scoring. So, but we felt okay with that, knowing who we had out, and we played hard, and we had some kids who typically don't get to play a whole lot that came in and gave us good minutes. And Linnea Sherman's one of our foreign exchange students, one of our first-year players, and she had 5 shots that were put back because I thought that she was going to score her first basket of the year, and they're all in and out, 5 of them.
Oh, man.
And that was kind of the way the night went. We had a bunch of shots that went in and out, and so it's just some bad luck, it felt like. But it was actually a pretty good learning night for us, because a lot of our kids that were getting 2 to 3 minutes a game ended up getting 12 to 15.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot about those kids. We felt good about that. And then we went into the Saturday game against North White and turned the ball over less than we're used to, but we shot 6% from the field. So, we were coming off a bad shooting night already and a bad shooting the half before that game. And this was just a all new level of, we were 2 for 30 from the field, I think. And of those 30 shots, 20 of them might not have hit anything. And it was just bad, and once again, shorthanded, and kids didn't play hard, and kind of embarrassing effort-wise. And we talked about that. So just couldn't do anything, and frustrating. And then, we missing those kids, and you can use that as an excuse, but at some point you got to play.
Right.
And we just didn't. And then so that was a disappointing game against North White. And then we came back on Monday this week. No time to practice between Saturday and Monday. But we came back and we played Iroquois West, which was another one of our teams from our previous conference when we were in Illinois. And we played really well against a decent team. They've won 2/3 of the games. They've played 21 games. They're 14-7 on the season. And they got out to an 8-0 lead on us to start, and it's like, oh boy, same stuff again. But kids buckled down, hit a couple shots, and then you could feel like once they hit a couple shots, and it's like, okay, this is over. No, we're no longer shooting 5% from the field or 10% from the field, and so that when you make some shots, it helps your defense and it helps a little bit of everything. And we battled back in that first quarter. They went into the quarter with a 15-7 lead, I think it was, and we just kept it close in the third quarter, kept it close all the way to the end. They pulled away a little bit at the end, but we battled hard, and we were real proud of the kids, because they could have, after Saturday, they could have just hung their head and not shown up again, and it would have been very easy to play the pity party and stuff like that. But they didn't. They came. They played hard. We had some great transition looks. Kids were getting back on defense and playing good defense, and the Iroquois West just had a little bit too much for us. With we still had 2 of our starters out. We did get Addison Standish back for limited minutes on Tuesday, so that helped out a little bit. But having Alexis and Jalen, who are 2 leading scorers and 2 leading rebounders, and do a lot for us defensively, having them out, kids battled hard, and we liked where we were at the end of that game without getting the W, but it showed a lot of good character traits for our kids to battle back there.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you tell your kids? I mean, it's rattling out the rims. It's just going off one way or the other, and they're just having the bad nights of shooting, as you have said. They sometimes mentally that can be way heavy on you. What do you tell your kids when you see these situations happening? Because it sounds like it's good shots.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing from the sideline. It's just you got to keep shooting that. You're getting a good shot. Especially against Iroquois West early, we got a couple good looks, and just same stuff. Nothing's falling, but you say just keep shooting, because eventually, like, you can't miss forever. And eventually, if you're gonna regress back to your mean, positive in this case, but so just shoot, and some of our kids we have to tell that to anyways. Some of our younger kids especially, they just won't shoot. It's like when you catch the ball, there's no one within 5 feet of you. You have to put that shot up, and we had a disappointing one like that where we had a wide open layup against Iroquois West early, and the kid caught it 2 feet from the basket, and it was a great pass, and decided that the defender 5 feet away from them, that shouldn't even be in your vision too much. So we're going to back that out. It's like you can't turn away shots.
Sure.
So you just got to take them, and then once one person hits one, it kind of gets contagious sometimes. So and that's kind of what happened. We had a nice shot. Leah Conrad played a really really good game, but between her and Kara, they hit a couple shots, and that kind of loosened it up for all of us. And we ran good offense, which we did not do on Saturday against North White. Had good passes in transition, turned the ball over less. So we look like a functional basketball team, and that helps too when you can get some good shots. But there's not much else you can say. Shooters got to shoot, and you just take your chances with it.
Yeah.
And you said Illinois schools can play more games than.
Yeah. So I think if they play their tournaments the right way, they can play up to 35.
Wow.
But they get 22 regular season games plus 3 tournaments.
Oh, wow.
And your tournaments are 20 regular season games plus 3 tournaments, and your tournaments can be up to 5 games.
Cow.
So if you play 3 5-game tournaments and your 20 regular season games, you can get 35. And some of those teams do. We're scheduled to play Waseca, and right now I think they're 16-3, and they've got 10 more games scheduled or something like that. And we're scheduled to play Donovan in a remake. It was one of the games we had to cancel over Christmas break, and they've played 15 games, but they've got something like 14 more in the next 3.5 weeks or something like that if they don't all get canceled. So it's kind of crazy for them sometimes. They're playing 3 and 4 games a week. I used to do that when I coached over there, and it's just a different. You get 6 days at the start of the season. That's it, and you're playing games.
Almost sounds like an NBA season.
Yeah.
Like you have less practices in a season than games. So.
Yeah.
So what's up the rest of this week?
So tomorrow we're scheduled to go to Ileana Christian, 6:00 start up in Dyer, against a team that's very similar to us. Struggles to score sometimes, and mix of older and younger kids. So that's should be a fairly decent game. We'll have some more kids back. I think Alexis will be back for limited minutes, coming back off her quarantine, and Jalen Marks wasn't quarantined, but she's coming back. She had a pretty nasty case of the regular flu, and she came back to school and practiced yesterday, and did not look great, but was here, and then today she looked much better, and so hopefully we'll have her for some limited minutes, and then Saturday we go to River Forest for another varsity game at 5:30, and then next week Tuesday at home is our final game at home against Faith Christian at 5:30, and we'll honor Alexis. Wasn't able to be honored at the senior night we did, so we'll honor her at that game on Tuesday. So.
Sectional draw this week, right?
Sectional draw this weekend, and
you got only a 5-teamer, right?
Yep, we lost Pioneer, and they didn't replace Pioneer with anybody, so we've got the 5-team draw. So
and it's say who the teams are.
North White's hosting. We're in there, and then we've got Frontier, Tri-County, and Caston.
So it's almost the Midwest Conference. Almost.
It's the old Midwest
Conference.
Yeah.
Yes,
minus one team or
yep.
so.
Yep.
And North Newton, is now out of it. But yeah, and most of the teams, we don't play Caston, but I think everybody else plays everybody else in there. So it's not like there's anybody new in there.
Right.
So.
Who you see as the favorites?
I don't know. North White's at home, so you got to, and they're a good team, so you've got to give them credit. I think they've beaten everybody in the regular season already as well. So they're probably the favorites, but Caston's a good team, and Tri-County can play with anybody at any night, and Frontier same way. They get a hot shooter or two going, and they can play with anybody. So I think there should be some competitive games there. So.
All right, we'll find out Sunday, I guess,
Yep.
all right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, thanks for coming over. Appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. Joe Keller from the South Newton Lady Rebels back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
For compassionate veterinary care, you can count on Rensselaer Pet Care. Dr. Jan Mallory and Dr. Nick Mallory are now seeing patients at their new facility located at 1370 St. Gaspar Drive North in Rensselaer behind Walmart. We treat your pet like a member of the family. From wellness exams and vaccines to complex surgical procedures, your dog or cat will receive high-quality care at our hospital. Boarding is also available. For more information or to check hours of operation, contact Rensselaer Pet Care at 219-866-4671.
And welcome back to the Coach's Cage Show every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock at Arnie's.
That's the truth.
Our next game. What do you turn his microphone on? I'm still talking here.
Yeah. It's okay. That's that's the bad situation that occurs.
You change seats. You don't get to say anything. Move your feet. Lose your mic.
Hey, our next broadcast, hopefully, you never know anymore these days, but Friday night's supposed to be a doubleheader, North White at North Newton, and that'll be a 5:30 girls start. Be on the air at 5:15, then the boys' game will follow. And just stay tuned, because we were supposed to do a game last night.
But didn't.
Wes Radke, what happened?
Well, you were talking about 2 other teams. I don't know nothing about them other teams. If you're going to broadcast one of my games, I'll talk to you about that.
Well, we were supposed to. I was ready to. I was willing to go. I was fired up.
Yeah, but now you're talking about doing another game on Friday. It's going to do with me.
I have to alert our listeners of what we're doing next. We were supposed to do you last night, but no.
I know. And unfortunately, we're in that COVID window of the sickness going around, and we just kind of got stuck in that with North Newton, and so that game is no longer.
That'll not be rescheduled.
No, not with this late in time.
Yeah.
Because we play next week on Tuesday, Thursday, so there's just there's no window there, and we're supposed to play Friday, but that game has now been canceled as well because Lewis Cass had some COVID issues as well. So
that game's already been canceled for Friday?
Friday, yes. So we don't have a game Friday.
So you're supposed to play Tuesday, Friday. You haven't played yet. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me. That makes me feel real good about things.
Well, maybe you can find an opponent for Friday night now.
Well, we try to do some different things, but the problem is everybody else is about full up as well as moving things around. And
it's tough.
So right now, fingers are crossed for Saturday night with Frontier.
You never know.
I never know. Where Frontier is our senior night because it was supposed to be senior night Tuesday night, but that's why I moved ahead in case something like this happens, so we had something to fall back on. So right now, fingers crossed.
That's the last
home
game. Yeah. Wow.
So we are hoping for Saturday right now to get a game in on Saturday, and then looking at KV, and then either Hebron or Lewis Cass on next Thursday.
So you don't know about that.
I don't know who that's going to be. If it's definitely going to be Lewis Cass or if it's going to be Hebron, because we're trying to work things out there with it being a conference game and that tournament of the seeding of where people fall at and things, and so we're still working on that.
Now, is there a committee that kind of gathers that?
His name is Ken Hickman.
Okay.
He makes those decisions. I mean, he asks me what I think and what I want, but when it comes down to it, he's got more knowledge of different working parts and between him and the other ADs of what needs to be done there. So, it's just kind of like you gotta roll with it. What's best that we can get done, and we get done. And so he'll ask me my opinion on things, and usually he has a better understanding of where things are at. And so right now, he's put the feelers out there. He's put the emails out. So we're just waiting on a few responses to see if we can make it work.
All right.
You asked the question.
Actually, I did.
Why? He asked. So there.
Oh, gosh, sorry.
All right. What games do we have to recap here? Don't act like you don't know. Come on.
We got a couple of games that we just let slip through our fingers in that Hoosier Conference. When you look at our losses, 3 of those have come to – actually, all 4 of our losses in the conference have come from conference opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And BC, West Lafayette, CC, and Twin Lakes, all 4 of them are great, high-quality teams right now. When you look at that first game against, CC, we came back in the third quarter and, took the lead and just – didn't take care of it in the fourth quarter, obviously, and they hit some free throws, some key shots down the stretch. It just kind of pushed away from us, and we just didn't handle things well. Then we turn around and play a Twin Lakes team that has some good players, some young players, and some good shooters, and the Nickerson girl and the Bowsman, and we got down quick and early to them, and man, by 20-some, it came roaring back and got within 2 late in the game, and they hit a key shot in the corner, and that put them up, and we just could never get over that hump. And it was just a really tough, very hard-fought game. Very proud of the girls because those two games against CC and against Twin Lakes, we didn't give up, we didn't quit, and so it was great for us to be able to do that. And then we go to West Lafayette, and it's. They beat us early on in that JC Hoops Classic, and we were really hoping to get a chance to go back and have that game again. And so we go, and we just a great game, battle back and forth, a great conference game. They're playing really well. Coach Jan's got them going pretty good there, and we're going back and forth, and they get a lead on us, and we take it back, and then they go ahead of us, and we come back. And so 7.5 seconds to go in the game, we're down with 1 with the ball in front of our basket, and we have the opportunity to hit it, and just goes awry and doesn't happen. So we end up losing 64-60 because we have to foul, and they go down and hit a free throw to seal it for them. But again, a real hard-fought game. It was again, I know you guys weren't there, but it was almost like a sectional atmosphere to where the girls were all in, they were all fighting, ringing fouls out of the game, and we're still, not hanging our heads. We're still fighting to get up where we need to be at. So overall, it was a great game for us. All 3 of these, I think, are great learning experiences for us. Even though I hate losing, and I don't like that L, as you called it, in the bracket there, but all three of them are very capable learning experiences, and if we play at that level the next couple of games and into the sectional, I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do.
What are you trying to accomplish here the last week of the season?
Well, really trying
besides playing games.
Right, playing games, but continue to improve. Always continue to get better, and then also fine-tuning what's got us to this point, the success we've had in our defense, the success we had in our offense, and just really trying to hone that skill even better and more confidence, and really pushing ourselves to continue to grow as a team and bond even better than we have been.
I was listening in Kansas City with the Central Catholic game and noticing in some of the other games that you have mentioned already, the slow starts. Did you feel like you were a little bit slow in the West Lafayette game?
Whoa, yeah. We came out, and it's what we've got to get past that slow start.
In the beginning of the season, towards the end of the season before we had this break, you guys were doing very good.
Right.
Getting out there and, like, burst and everything. What's changed, do you think?
Well, I think some of that is just – the teams that we're playing as well. Those are some good teams that have a lot of weapons and ability to do that. But I don't think we responded very well. We kind of like, oh, we're in a hole. We got to get ourselves out of this now. Coach is kind of in a panic mode here a little bit, and so we've got. That's another thing we've been trying to work on, starting a game and then also finishing a game off in the way we started on a high note. Not letting ourselves down, because low game we get up by 20 and it's kind of like, okay, now we can just get sloppy with things. We gotta continue to not let people come back on us like we've been doing it lately. So just trying to really focus on the beginning of that game and then putting it all together towards the end of the season here.
Lady Bomber JV, how are we doing now?
Well, they haven't lost a game yet since it's been a while, but they haven't played very many games either, because some teams just don't have a JV. Twin Lakes, when we played Twin Lakes, they only had 2 quarters of a JV, and then CC didn't have one at all, and then West Lafayette had one. We ended up winning that game like 35 to 15. So Coach Van Meer's got them playing really well. And, Saturday night there's only 2 quarters for them with Frontier right now. So kind of a little bit frustrated for them as far as them not getting very many games. But, hopefully, Saturday KV game on Tuesday, and then whoever our opponent is, hopefully I say that Lewis Cass has a JV, Hebron does not. So, we could be looking at, depending on who we play Thursday, whether the JV's done Tuesday and that's it, and or we play with Lewis Cass's JV. So hopefully we get something worked out there for him.
Is there something that maybe like in the summertime you can get these girls to do a little bit, more playing time so they can actually start feeling what it's going to be like for that next level?
We'll pick up a lot of things in the summertime as far as extra games and teams and just getting them playing more and getting them some more opportunity there in the summertime. And the nice thing about it in practice, I know practices aren't games, but our practices are pretty competitive. Like tonight, the last 15 minutes, I just let them go at each other here a little bit and get up and down the floor, because we're supposed to play Tuesday night and we're supposed to play Friday, and now they got no game, and so we kind of let them scrimmage a little bit, and it was pretty tight back and forth between the 2 teams, back and forth going at each other, and it was fun to watch. They didn't back off of the varsity didn't back off of them, and they just competed against each other in practice. So it was a fun thing to be in and a fun thing to watch and be part of.
Got a scouting report on Frontier yet?
Frontier's got the 2 guards, number 5 and number 11. Can't remember their names offhand right now, but both of them shoot the ball extremely well when they get on fire, especially number 5. She comes off a lot of screens for him, and she can light it up. She did it quite the number there on North Newton. I watched that film, and I got a couple more films to continue to break down and watch. But they got some young players that do some nice things, and they're quick and agile, and they're athletic. They don't have much of an inside game at times, but they got some big girls that put some bodies on people, and they'll play a little bit of man, a little bit of zone, a little bit of pressure, but not too much. But It's going to be a lot of sets. Coach Marlotte's going to run a lot of sets at us, and we got to be able to handle those and communicate and talk in defense.
And next Tuesday, live stream here on 3KG. You'll be up at KV. That's always a interesting game at the end of the year here.
Yeah, battle for Jasper County, and we haven't played very well there yet in the time I've been here. So hopefully, Tuesday will be something different, and we can get something turned around here and get towards what we need to do and be on top of that game and come out with a win, 2 wins that night.
Sectional draw. What do you do? What do you do in a sectional draw? Do you hang around other coaches, other players, what do you do there?
I think you've asked me this question every year.
I want to know.
His absent-minded thing doesn't come together all the time, there, buddy.
Your name is Bob. Bob Kurtz.
All right, I've been trying to be nice tonight.
Usually on sectional night, I try to just stay with my family. Honestly, I let the girls do their thing with their families, and because it's on a Sunday night, and we just kind of, at least at my house, we sit around the TV and take it all in. Who's going where? We watch who's doing 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. All the classes and the sectionals, and then obviously ours is the key one for us. And then once we get the draw.
I want to play this team, right? You don't say that.
No, I don't, because it doesn't really matter at that point. You got to play who it is and do what you can do.
It's the draw.
Yeah, and that's what makes it exciting. It's what makes it Hoosier basketball is just the fact of, you get that blind draw, and whoever you got is who you got to face. And so usually what happens then is Van Meter and I start talking back and forth and going through things, and I'll text the team and share with them my thoughts on stuff, and then I'll get, usually my mom or dad will text me about some things, and then we'll start putting a game plan together of what we need to do, and going forward. So that's kind of what we always do.
There's some teams you don't face in the regular season,
right? We don't face South Central, who's number 1 in Class 2A right now, is in our sectional. They're 20-0. We don't face them. Westville, we don't face them. They're in the PCC conference with South Central. We do face Hebron. We don't face Boone Grove. So there's 3 out of the 8 teams right there off the top of my head that we don't even face until sectional time. So it's any man's game. You got to bring it all 3 nights, because there's no rest for the weary here. It's a situation where it's a do or die, and we got to be on our best game.
Well, hopefully you get the rest of the games in here without any conflict, and get your senior night in and go from there, right?
I hope so. Yes, that we're hoping that it all takes place for us, and because if you remember a few years ago when Bianca was a senior, that we didn't get in the Hebron game, we didn't get in the Frontier game, we didn't get in the KV game, so we didn't play until we played. And that's when we were in 3A at Hanover, and the first game we drew Knox, and it was we came out flat, and that's a long time to go without playing, and it's tough, but that's a mental part of it, and we addressed it with the girls tonight, that we got to be mentally strong as well. So something we got to work on.
All right, Wes, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Wes Radke from the Rensselaer Central Lady Bombers. Back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Finding yourself in need of a quick repair or realize your home needs a good amount of updating? Who should I call? Call Make It Better Contracting for your solutions. They find time for new builds, remodels, and additions. Even when the roof leaks, your kitchen needs to be bigger, or you need another bathroom, Make It Better Contracting is your full-service contractor. If you own a project home that is in need of a lot of work, Make It Better Contracting is interested in purchasing your home. Call today at 219-863-0851. Together, we can make it better.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Back on the coach's cage, Bob Kurtz along with Jeff Gastineau and Scotty Miller tonight. Our next broadcast, hopefully, we'll get some clarification here from Coach Heimlich here in a minute. But Friday night, we're scheduled to be over at North Newton for a girls-boys doubleheader. North White at North Newton. And Brian Heimlich, that's still on the works, so...
As of right now, yes. But, as well as I do, that can change by the time we get off the air, or it could change tomorrow, whatever.
Absolutely. So anyway, stick with us there. 5:30, I assume, Central Time.
Yes, and
start
and
for
the
you
girls,
guys.
The girls varsity plays first that night because it's the boys JVs start off. So.
Yeah, okay. So girls varsity, then boys varsity.
Yes.
So, all right. So stick with us. That's a live stream right here on 3KG. We'll be on air around 5:15, and then for you North White fans, can't make it over, just tune in and be able to watch a game for us. So, what do we got to talk about? What's your record now, and how many games do we have to talk about?
Well, we're 14-6. We got 3 games here in the last week. Last Thursday, we played Twin Lakes again. We played them in that tournament, and I thought we really struggled defensively in that game. I mean, they went off at 13 of 24 from a 3-point line, and that was something we really thought we could play a lot better against them. And I mean, they're a very solid team, and so we switched some things up defensively. And I thought our girls came out ready to go right from the start, and had an early lead on them, and then they took the lead midway through that first quarter, and then we kind of ran into the stretch that we had been having the last 2 weeks, where we just had a stretch. We had some turnovers and just not shooting real well. We think we were down 17-11 at the end of the first quarter, and then right before the half, though, we made a run. We got it to within 23-20 at the half, and felt pretty good. We talked about some things at halftime we needed to adjust a little bit, and came out the first 4 minutes. We actually took the lead, so we had a 2-point lead. Halfway through that third quarter, and then we had a stretch. I think as soon as we took that lead, there was like eight possessions. I think I counted up. And we had 6 turnovers, and it was just kind of a frustrating stretch for us. They didn't really stretch it out too much. Honestly, I think they got it up to about 9 at one point, and we actually cut it back down to 5. But that was about as close as we could get to them in that fourth quarter. And late in the game, I mean, they've just got too many good guards that can shoot free throws and are quick. So when you're playing catch-up with about 3 minutes to go, even down 5 or 6, it's tough because they shoot free throws very well. I think they ended the night 18 of 20 from the free throw line.
Wow.
And their 3 guards can do that. I mean, they're all shooting right around that 80% mark.
And they handle the ball.
And they handle the ball. And so, I mean, as I said, it's not like you can trap and try to get at somebody else's hands because they got 2 other guards at you, so you just don't have enough players out there to guard all of them and be able to do that. But I thought, I really thought our effort defensively was where I wanted it to be. That's kind of what we had focused on because I thought we'd kind of lost that the 2 weeks previous. And, Hannah Cosgray did a nice job defensively on Bousman. She was our leading scorer, but I thought she made her work for her points. And then, Lauren Annis and Cammie Scott and even Callie Hunt on the Nickerson girl who had, I think, 6 threes against us the first game. I know she had 8 the game right before us against Rensselaer, and she had 0 threes against us. Now, she still had 12 points, but I thought our girls just did a nice job of staying with their shooters, not letting them get good looks. The big thing was, I think, in that stretch where they got the lead, it was on the offensive end, and so that was something that just kind of it's hindered us a little bit in the like I said, the last 2-3 weeks. We just have stretches where we go too many possessions with turnovers, and so hopefully we can remedy that. So it was a good. We lost to a good Twin Lakes team, but I thought our effort was there, and we played very solid. So
okay.
And then Saturday we had a conference game. South Newton came over to our place, and they were missing some starters. They were down some kids, and our girls came out and did what they needed to do. And a solid effort from us, and got the conference win. Very balanced scoring that night. Tessa and Kate both had 12. Abigail had 8. She had been struggling offensively, so it was nice to get her a couple. Get some shots in that fell for her, and we even had some girls off the bench that did some nice things for us. So, it was a big conference win. Get to that 3-0 mark. We've got 2 left. Finishing the season up. So, that's one of our goals, and so hopefully we can get there. And then last night we went over to DeMont and played Covenant Christian, who I think they're 15-3 going into that game last night. They got a lot of size and a lot of athleticism,
like always.
Yeah, I mean, they're just it's not just 1 or 2 girls; it's just a whole lot of like 5'9", 5'10". You just look at them, and so we thought that length was going to give us some trouble. They mix up their zones. So we thought we could do, if we were active enough, we could get some good looks and be patient. And, we really were. I liked the way we played offensively last night for the most part, the majority of the game. And we thought we had the advantage inside if we could do that. And Tessa and Kate, Kate had 20 points last night and 15 rebounds. And Tessa had 14 and 13. So, I mean, we had 2 double-doubles from our 2 post players. And our guards really fed them the ball, too. We got it up early. We got it up to, 6-7 points. They came back and hit a couple threes. And then we built it up again. I think halftime we were up 5. And again, it was just a stretch there right before the half. I went in and told the girls that it wasn't even the turnovers. At times when teams make runs, and we were I think we were starting to get a little tired. We hadn't subbed in that second quarter. We had, they'll score a couple buckets, but we come right down and it's one pass and we shoot it. And, and we've got a couple girls that, if they're tired and trying to get back and there's no stop and play, that just makes it harder. I mean, it's like you just get down the other end and it's one pass, shot, miss. Now it's going the other way, and you got to try to get back down there on defense. And I thought that was what kind of got us in trouble there, allowed them back in the game. But then the third quarter, I thought our girls came out with the effort we needed and that patience that we needed on the offensive end, and were able to work that lead up to double digits a couple times. And really the Twin Lakes game and that game, though, what really hurt us too was free throws. I think we missed 10 free throws in the Twin Lakes game, and last night we were 7-17. So I think we could have. You ended up winning 49-40, but the free throw situation, if we could just we knock down a couple of those at different times, I think it makes it a different game. And but defensively, the girls played well. I said Tessa and Kate had the double doubles. Hannah played another nice game handling the basketball. Like I felt like she has all year, and really runs the show up there. I think she had 5 assists again, and defensively she's just active all the time. She's just really makes our defensive effort. When she's playing well defensively, I think our other girls get locked in too. And it was a good team effort again last night, and good victory. We've got 2 in a row now, and we want to finish. That was our goal after that Twin Lakes game, is trying to finish the year with a run, get four straight going into sectional, and we still have that in front of us. So hopefully we can do that.
Well, you play North Newton Friday night. They were supposed to play Rensselaer and canceled because of COVID reasons, I believe, last night. So what do you know about the Lady Spartans?
Well, I mean, they've got some size inside with the the two twins. They've been playing a lot of basketball. They've been in varsity basketball since they've been up there. They got a couple guards that can shoot it too.
You just say Schliemann, and you got 3 of the 5.
You got 3 of the 5
3
starters.
of 5 right there.
Yeah.
So.
Those. We've just got to be able to. We go over our scouting report tomorrow with the girls. Be locked in and kind of know what we're going to do against them. Defensively, and like I said, offensively, I'd just like to see us again. Limit our turnovers, because especially in spurts. I mean, that's been our biggest thing is just getting. We can't have 3 or 4 in a row, and then possession-wise, when we reverse the basketball, if it's not even just 3 or 4, I mean, it doesn't have to be 8, 10 passes, just 3 or 4 passes so we can get looks into our posts. I mean, Tessa and Kate are better than a lot of the posts that we play all year. And if we just get looks into them, I think that goes a long way for our offense, because then it opens up those shots for the guards too. Sometimes I tell the guards that, and I don't think they realize that, but a lot of their open, threes that they've hit have come when it's gone inside. It's touched a post first, and not even inside at the high post area, but it's just that ball reversal where defense has to shift and move, and you got to make the defense work. So hopefully Friday we'll be able to do that and get clicking again on the offensive end and keep our defense going.
And what, one game next week?
And then we have the conference game on Thursday night will be our senior night against Frontier. We have 6 seniors and 1 senior manager, so we have a lot of seniors this year, and so hopefully everything goes right and we can get that in. I know Wes was talking about how they're scrambling to get their senior night in, so you hope that especially your seniors, that's what they always look forward to, is that senior night and be able to recognize them. So that'll be a big one. Hopefully if everything we can play well Friday night and get that one, that'll be for an outright conference crown. What we got to do, we got to take care of business Friday night first, and then hopefully have that chance on Thursday for the conference. So that we're looking forward to that.
Brian, how you correct free throws? When is that a mental thing, or do you kind of repetitious kind of method in your thinking?
I mean, a lot of it is, you always want them doing the same thing. I mean, repetition, but it can get mental. Sometimes I think you don't want to spend too much time on it if you are struggling, I think, because then it becomes very mental. I mean, then you start thinking about it more. But sometimes it's just I was looking at last night. I think it was Abigail was 2 of 7 last night, and she's one of our better free throw shooters.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes it's just a matter of an off night too for certain girls, and sometimes maybe they're tired or in that certain situation, and something else has gone on there. So free throws can be very mental. I mean, that can go from our level to the college level to the pro level. I mean, you see it at all levels, and we just hope that we can get in a stretch where we are hitting them, because there was a time where we were shooting them well. I know early in the season we were struggling, and then we got to a stretch where we weren't. And now the last 3 or 4 games we've kind of struggled with it. But as long as we're getting to the line and getting those chances, that means we're doing something right, I think, offensively. And so that's what we want to do, is just give ourselves that opportunity, and hopefully we can step up and knock some down.
Brian Heimlich, what happened there?
Well, I think you've been kicking the cord down there.
All right. There.
Yeah, you've been kicking the cord. I think.
Haven't I? Anyway, there we go. Sectional. Tell us about the sectional draw. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that comes out Sunday. You're always excited about that, and we're excited because we get to host it this year again. So it's a 5-teamer this year. So usually we've had, I think every year I've coached it's been 6 or 7, so it's a little different. I think we have 1 game Tuesday night is the way it's set up, and then 2 on Friday and 1 on Saturday. So we got South Newton, Frontier, Tri-County, Casson, and us, and just see what happens. I mean, nothing you can do about the draw when it comes out. That's where you play them, and so you just always excited to just stand, anticipating who you're going to draw and how it's going to shape up, and then you just get ready to go prepare and go out and do it. But it's nice to have it in our gym this year. Have our home crowd there, so that and everything. So it's just you don't have to go do the traveling and all that. So
JV Lady Vikes, how are we doing?
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. They got a nice win last night against Covenant Christian. Last week, I think they had a 2-quarter game against Twin Lakes, which they lost, and then South Newton didn't have one, so they didn't get to play there. So it was nice to go over to Covenant Christian and get a 4-quarter game in. I think they were down 18-7 at the half and were able to pull out a 1-point victory. Played very well the second half, and we were short a couple girls too, but I thought they played very hard and did some nice things last night. Some of the girls are really improving throughout the season, and hopefully we get 2 more in for them, because it's been we've had some 2-quarter games. I mean, I think we've been more fortunate JV this year than we were last year as far as that goes, because we had a lot of games canceled and 2-quarter games last year, and this year we've been fortunate. I think we've only lost maybe 3 JV games and then had a couple where we've had 2 quarters. So girls have improved throughout the season and done a nice job. So
Brian, we'll talk to you Friday night.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
Brian Heimlich from the North White Lady Vikings, back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous Wagon Masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
For compassionate veterinary care, you can count on Rensselaer Pet Care. Dr. Jan Mallory and Dr. Nick Mallory are now seeing patients at their new facility located at 1370 St. Gaspar Drive North in Rensselaer behind Walmart. We treat your pet like a member of the family. From wellness exams and vaccines to complex surgical procedures, your dog or cat will receive high-quality care at our hospital. Boarding is also available. For more information or to check hours of operation, contact Rensselaer Pet Care at 219-866-4671.
Wiggle your wire there.
There we go. Coach's Cage Show here on 3kgthecage.com, and on our Facebook page, it's 3KG The Cage Community Broadcasting. And Mark Grettencourt stepped in for the Tri-County Cavaliers, who, well, at least she's got a couple games in last week, right?
We did. Yeah, it was nice to play a couple games, and, of course, now we're shut down again this week. But
yeah, so what's this on you're not practicing, nobody's practicing at all or anything this week, right?
For our school right now, all extracurricular activities are canceled through Friday, I believe, so I'm sure that'll include Saturday. So our plan is to start back up on Monday. So we did lose our game Friday night that we're supposed to have against Frontier coming up, and that was our homecoming.
So that'll be rescheduled.
That has been rescheduled for Tuesday, February 8th. So we've already got that rescheduled and in the works.
So when you have to stop completely, how does that affect your team?
Well,
and you had it done before, right?
We have this year already. We've had it done. Right? Yeah, this will be the second time. So, it's something I think our kids are almost getting used to. Yeah. That they just expect it. So I'm not sure it's going to affect us that much. Basketball is a grueling long season, so sometimes maybe a week away just gives you a chance to get refreshed. But then you have to worry about getting back in shape and things like that after being gone for a full week.
Do you have to make up practices, or how does that work when you come back?
Well, when you miss so many practices, and I think the rule is if you miss over 6 or 8, then you have to make up 4 or 5 before you can actually
But you
play.
haven't
We won't have that issue.
Okay.
So we won't.
So
have
you
to
can
miss
play
that
right
many.
away.
We should be able to play right away come next Friday versus South Newton.
Okay.
So that's our plan.
Okay. Hopefully.
Knock on wood right now. So that is the goal, is to play South Newton on the 28th.
So you played a couple games here this past weekend. Tell us about them.
Yeah, we went to West Central on Friday night, and it was a game that was competitive for the most part. West Central was able to pull away late in the game. They were a team that was very scrappy. I thought that they got most of the loose balls. I thought they were maybe just a little hungrier than what maybe our guys were. In that third and fourth quarter, it seemed like every shot that they put up went in, and it was not difficult shots always. I mean, some of them were in the paint, but we had like a hand in their face or had to shoot over us, but they were hitting shots, and that's one thing that we just didn't do consistently enough, and they were able to pull away late. They had a 6-point lead with I think like 4 seconds left, and they threw the little home run ball on the out of bounds and got another bucket. So the final score on that one was 68-60. But I told the kids after that one I was actually a little disappointed on how we played. I thought we could have rebounded better. I thought we could have played better defense. I thought we could have worked for some better shots and not turned the ball over as much. So, coming off that big win against Attica the weekend before, I was hoping that we would gain some momentum and have a good weekend this weekend, but unfortunately we didn't get that. So, in that game for us, though, Kobe Baylor, he had an outstanding game. He almost literally we put us on his back and brought us back into that game. He had 24 points on 10 of 18 shooting, so real good game for the sophomore. And then Nate Corbin had 14 points and 11 rebounds. So we had a couple guys play really well. And then we had some unselfish guys with Eric Zarzi, Corbin Lawson, and Logan Doty. They all had 4 assists in that game. So just a game that I wish that our kids could have played a little bit better. That was our first conference game, so that gives us that first loss in the conference. I'll still tell the kids that we still control our own destiny, because if we can win out, we at least get a share of that title. So that's what our that's what we're going to look forward to is try to get better each and every day.
Okay, and then you played Saturday too?
We did. We played Saturday against La Crosse. La Crosse was, I believe, 5-5 coming into the game. And, Coach Snodgrass there, which I played against Coach Snodgrass when he coached at Twin Lakes, so that was a long, long time ago. So we had some good memories talking before the game.
Sure.
and just kind of reminiscing about some things. So they had a player that, number 34, Garwood, who was, I think, maybe 20-some points away from 1,000. So we knew that we had to kind of key on him. And in the first quarter, we let him get loose a few times. And he had 11 points, I think, in the first half. And La Crosse was able to kind of build a little bit of a lead going into halftime. And, we talked to the kids about letting him get loose. And in the second half, Kobe Baylor, we put him on him and really shut him down, held him to 2 points in the second half.
Wow.
So did a great job, got us back in the game. Just a hard-fought game, back and forth. And if you look at the stats, for the most part, we controlled that game. And we had 15 offensive rebounds to their 4. We did have 4 more turnovers than them. Points in the paint were like 18-8. I mean, the problem was they had 5 2-point field goals all game, but they had 10 3-point field goals.
Oh, my gosh.
So, we shut down kind of the inside game, made them shoot from the outside, and, well, they took advantage of it. And so, the game was coming down to the end, and we did lose Corbin Lawson in the middle of the second quarter to an injury. So, that's going to hurt us. Don't know when we'll get him back. So we're going to just kind of have to wait and see about that. But so second half we played without him, and then but our kids really fought hard, got back into the game, and we had, with 40 seconds left, it's a tie ball game, and we have the ball, and we're holding for the last shot, and I'm going to call timeout with 10, and in hindsight I should have called it with 15. So we just threw the ball away, just an error, and they got the ball out of bounds, and they called timeout, and we talked about what kind of play we think they're going to run, and well, they ran the same play, and we just didn't execute defensively there either. So just a couple miscues late in the game that, if we handle that a little bit differently, we might be talking about a win. But, you can't just fault that one error either. I mean, there were multiple errors that, throughout the game that you would hope that you wouldn't commit and you wouldn't get to that point in the game. So, it was just one of those where we lost them by 2 points. The final score was 45-43. So.
And who played well for you?
Well, and Kobe Baylor had another good game. He had 15 points on 6 of 13 shooting. So he also had 6 rebounds. And then Nate Corbin had 8 points and 9 rebounds. So then we had 6 guys with 5 points or more. So I mean, Eric Zarzi had 5, Corbin Lawson had 5 in a quarter and a half, and then Logan Doty had 7, and then. That was it. The other game was when we had that many guys score over 5. But Lane Cochran came in, hit a 3 for us, and then Riley Hughes, a freshman, came in late in the fourth quarter and really added some defensive pressure for us and got quite a bit of playing time in that fourth quarter. And Riley's the type of kid, if he doesn't turn the ball over, he's got a good shot, and he plays some pretty good defense that we'll be able to utilize him in games. So very pleased with the effort that I got out of our bench guys that day as well.
So what does Mark Grencourt do this week when you have a week off? What do you do as a coach?
Well, as a coach, you're going to start watching some South Newton film, and hopefully that game happens. And we just got to get mentally prepared for what's coming. And we're going to have a long season here in February, a bunch of games, and our kids will be excited about it. But I'll be probably watching a game maybe Friday night over in Kentland or something. We'll see, but. We're just going to try to get better, and I'll be watching some film and making some contacts to try to put our kids in the best position for next week.
JV Cavs, how are they doing now?
Well, JV Cavs, I think, got their first win at Attica, 2 weeks ago, and they won both this weekend. So they're on a 3-game winning streak right now. So JV Cavs are looking better. And, again, Coach Harrington does a real good job with them. But, when I lose guys, I steal from him.
There you go. Yeah.
So
he shared that with us.
He mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Right, and I was a JV coach once too, so I know how it works. But in losing Lawson, we'll probably have to pull up maybe a guy or two, or limit some other guys in some quarters that he was used to having. So, that's just the nature of the beast there, being the JV coach. But no, they've won 3 in a row now, so they're starting to play a lot better.
Well, hopefully you can get back on track and start practicing again, maybe Monday, and. Look forward to. We're doing that game, right, Jeff? The Tri-County South Newton game, I believe.
I believe we are.
So we'll have that live stream for you. So thanks for coming over, and we'll talk to you next week. Okay?
All right. Thanks, gentlemen.
All right. Mark Grettencourt from the Tri-County Cavaliers, back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza, and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Bob Kurtz with you here. Jeff Gastineau, Scotty Miller, joined by Billy Shepard, now coach of the Kankakee Valley Cougar boys basketball team. Bill, good to see you. We were supposed to be up there last Friday night, but your game got postponed. So do we have a makeup date for that now?
We do. Twin Lakes will be coming up to our place on Thursday, February 10th.
So Jeff, write that down.
For that's a 5 o'clock JV start. Okay. And 6:30 then varsity start.
So how many games do I have to talk about? Just one?
Just one. Yep. Just last night we traveled over to Knox and played the Redskins over there at the Weinberg Gymnasium. Nice new gym. I mean, it's 2 years old. The remodel now is 2 years old, but this is the first time we've been over there. Really nice new. They've done a lot of nice things to the gym. We came over there and long story short, played awful. Won the game by 14. But
wait a second.
Wait a minute. Time out.
I'm trying to understand this. We played awful, but we won the game.
Yeah.
Okay. This will be good.
He's going to explain that. So.
Yeah.
And that's nice to be able to have the team that you can say that with once in a while. You know? But yeah, it was. I mean, holy cow! I go into school this morning, and our secretary Sarah Critlow, She's like, hey, I watched the game last night. I think one of our parents was streaming it last night, and they're like, hey, I watched the game last night. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, well, it looked terrible. I'm like, yeah, thanks, I was there. So it wasn't just me that saw that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we played. I mean, we actually came out pretty good. You know, we came out pretty good. We were up by 12 at the end of the first quarter, 21-9. Actually got it to 17 early in the second quarter, and then we just lost it. Whatever happened, I don't know what happened. Just lost the momentum and just never got it back. And it was just one of those deals. I mean, it never got under 10, but it was just one of those deals where we just could never get our flow going again. And I you guys know we've been playing really well for about 2 or 3 weeks in a row here. You're bound to have one of those stinkers once in a while. And
didn't you have that the last game you played too, where you got out to a big lead and coasted, or no?
No, kind of, but that was about 3 games ago in the Hanover Central game in that tournament there.
Okay.
But yeah, it was we just had one of those games where, like I said, we've been playing well for about 3 weeks, and you're going to have one. So we just chalked that up to we were going to have one of those nights, and we were fortunate enough that we were deep and talented enough to still come away with a win. And we played hard, just we weren't very focused and didn't execute how we wanted to. But that's you like to be able to learn from wins more than losses at times. So
who's the lead scorer?
Cam Webster led us with 15. He came out really good in the early part, and then once again, he kind of just lost his energy too. I mean, he had, out of his 15, he had 12 of them in probably the first 10 minutes of the game. But then he just kind of lost his energy too, and kind of the same thing everybody else. And Nick Mikosh, our senior, had 14. And Luke Andre, another senior one, had 13. So we had 3 guys in double figures again, which is kind of our typical MO, 3 or 4 guys in double figures. But like I said, it was just one of those games. And credit to Knox. I mean, they played really hard. They're struggling this year, and they played really hard and did some things to us that nobody else has done. And so they made us do some adjusting, and we just didn't adjust very well. So I mean, they had a pretty good plan to go against us, and that kept them around, and we. And like I said, we still won comfortably, but it was just one of those games where we probably could have played a lot better.
Well, what's up next for the Cougs?
We got Saturday night at home against Lowell. Lowell's struggling too. In fact, they haven't won a game this year. It's been a really really tough year for Lowell. But they're coming to our place, and Lowell's a rival. So, we're going to be ready to go for that. We're going to play better than we played on Tuesday. There's no question about that. We've had 3 losses this year. And, I think the Tuesday night game was the worst game we played. I think we played worse there than we did our 3 losses, But I think Saturday night coming up, we're going to be fired up for that. It's a home game, and we're going to be ready to go. Conference game, that's always important too. And you don't want to have a trendsetter where you're playing flat, And okay, we got our flat game out of the way. Let's go ahead and pick it back up again. And we had a pretty good practice tonight, pretty energized practice. So, I think we'll be ready to go. And the other thing, schedule-wise too, we were supposed to play Benton Central.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago on the old ice day, when we were able to go there, we were unable to make up a date with them when just had no dates that worked out between us and them. So we actually wound up picking up a road trip on Tuesday, February 22nd. We go to Lafayette Central Catholic.
Oh. So, good quality competition there.
Oh yeah. That's a good game for us to pick up. Right, the Tuesday before sectional start, that's a really good game for us to pick up. And in fact, our biggest competition in sectional is going to be Culver Military Academy, and they actually beat them by 2 this year. So that's going to be a really good gauge for us to see where we're at going into things.
And we want to mention to the KB fans, we'll have a live stream of that game Saturday against Lowell. So tune in if you can't make it out to the game, or you want to go to the game and watch it on archive. You can have that to you. So
I did that for the North Newton game. For that, I did that for that game, and after the game, went back to my classroom and had to listen to what the experts had to say about that.
I don't know about that. How's the JV doing now?
Pretty good. JV had a really good game last night. Whatever bug got us, it didn't get them.
No,
they came out and played really well last night. In fact, we had our JV starting point guard had 28 last night, and they wound up winning by almost 30. So they did real well. So that was nice to see because they're with us. Same type boat. Hey, are we playing tonight? No, we're not playing tonight. So everybody's in the same boat.
Right.
So so it was good to see them come out and play well. And they're like 7-4 right now. So they're doing a pretty good job too. So
what are you hoping for the rest of the season here, regular season?
Oh, just continue to improve and continue to get better at how we play. I get a little tougher too, actually. The games we lose or don't look well in is because we get out physical, and we can play physical, but we just don't do it enough every day in practice, and we're gonna have to turn the physicality up in practice a little bit, and just learn how to operate against that a little bit better. That's if we can do that, we're gonna be in good shape. But that's right now that's kind of been our bugaboo that we just don't play against that very well on either end of the floor, to be quite honest about it. So we're gonna have to get a little bit better with that. So as long as we improve in that area and then get a little more crisp with what we want to do, we're gonna be fine.
Bill, thanks for coming down. Appreciate it. We'll see you Saturday. Okay,
yep, we'll be there.
All right, Bill Shepard from the Kankakee Valley Cougars, and back to wrap things up with Chad Pulver from Rensselaer Central boys basketball team right after this.
If you're looking for some great food before the big game or anytime, stop by the Wagon Wheel Grill on South College Avenue in Rensselaer. From their famous wagon masters to their great homemade chili, the Wagon Wheel is the place to go to satisfy your hunger needs. Takeout is also available by calling the Wagon Wheel at 219-866-9942.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a well of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Finding yourself in need of a quick repair or realize your home needs a good amount of updating? Who should I call? Call Make It Better Contracting for your solutions. They find time for new builds, remodels, and additions. Even when the roof leaks, your kitchen needs to be bigger, or you need another bathroom. Make It Better Contracting is your full-service contractor. If you own a project home that is in need of a lot of work, Make It Better Contracting is interested in purchasing your home. Call today at 219-863-0851. Together, we can make it better.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
Back on the Coach's Cage, Bob Kurtz, Jeff Gastineau, and Scotty Miller with you tonight. Chad Pulver ready to wrap things up here for the Rensselaer Central boys team. A nice weekend for the Bombers, huh?
We did have a nice weekend. We were on the road Friday night, went down to West Lafayette, and when Purdue played, so we had a little bit of a get ready for being in traffic moments where we're half a mile away from the school and sitting on the road for 15 minutes and let our fans know that we were going to potentially run into traffic there. But it was a really fun night, fun atmosphere. It's a fun gym to play in. It's a loud, very loud gym. They had a great student section. I thought we traveled well with fans, and we did well. We were in a tight game. We, at one point, I think in the fourth quarter, were down 3 and were able to pull it back in, make some big plays, and end up winning by 5 down there, which is a nice accomplishment for us.
No kidding. Anytime you get a win on the road anywhere.
In a conference game.
In a conference game,
yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So who played well for you?
Tristan Wheatrick had 25 points. It was a total team effort, though, to be very honest with you. We went very deep on the bench and continued to roll guys in, roll guys out, kept legs fresh, and guys played hard. We had what I've called Cerberus down low. We had a 3-headed monster playing in the post with Tate Drone, Norm Marchand, and Cass Pulver, and that was a really fun night for them to be able to play with each other and score on the inside. And then Tristan just knocked down shot after shot for us. And it wasn't anything out of the flow of the offense, which is really what was good for us, was that everyone knew where their teammates were moving, and then in the flow we were able to get someone to score, and he was hitting the shots, and I think the guys kind of saw that. So they kept feeding him, and he was still hitting. And in the process, when they overplayed, we were getting the ball to the guy that was open or cutting or making good moves. And down the stretch, we really needed him, but we were able to control the glass. Colby Chapman had some really nice defensive plays at the end of the game, getting his hands on tipped balls, throwing it up the court to get an and one to Corbin Matthew. And so those are the types of things where those combined to make a game for us. And we came out with a win in a place that we haven't won in a while.
How important is that to your confidence to go down there and win a game like that?
Well, it's our first win in conference, period.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Having lost to Twin Lakes, and I think a really terrible first half, came back, played well in the second half, but then still lost overall. And then to host CC and be in the game, and I think I talked about it last week, to have it really come down to about 4 or 5 possessions that really changed that game for us. And then to have this game on the road where it very easily could have turned on us, and to be down by 3 in the fourth quarter and have the guys step up and complete the game, I thought that was very important for us. I think it's a good learning opportunity. I think it gave us that win that we needed to be able to say we can travel on the road to do it, and then to be able to turn around and then host a game on Saturday night against a team that was 8-3 coming in. That was another challenge for us. And so it was, I think, a really nice weekend for us.
What a night it was. Hall of Fame night. A lot of 3 guys were honored, I think.
Yeah, 3 guys, and all 3 were connected to the basketball team. We have Russ Barton, who's our announcer, and has done a great job for us. And Cole Hewitt, who was a football, basketball guy, and then Andrew Malone, again, football, basketball. I think they're all multiple sport guys.
Right.
But, to most of our guys not only play basketball, but they play other sports.
Sure.
And so to have those connections. And Andrew Malone was a player on the last sectional team in 2005, and so to have that connection, and he was in our community for quite a while he was finishing college, and so some of our guys know him, and so it's nice for our guys to be able to see that, and to see that Hall of Fame induction is a really nice thing.
Take us through the game.
With Couts?
Yeah.
So with Couts, we started out and they went into a zone. And zone traditionally has been something that really slows us down. And it was kind of like playing in mud for that first half. We ended up with a 21-20 lead at halftime, which is very unusual for us. Tried to run, but they were really doing a nice job of getting back and going right into their zone setup. And so we moved the ball well. We were shooting pretty well, but it was just not our night to be able to run as quick as we wanted to get out and go. And so what we ended up having to do is we switched up our defenses a little bit. We switched up what we were doing on offense. We had to do a little bit more grinding. Our defense, I thought, held pretty well, but we weren't really able to pull away until that third quarter. And into the fourth quarter, we were able to hold them off. But, Couts knows how to play some basketball, and they have some players that are very athletic, they're good with the ball, slash through the lane very well. And so our role and what we had to do was to make sure that was covered as much as we could get. And so we were covering gaps pretty well. But again, it came down to rebounding. Honestly, in every possession or every position, our guys put themselves in a position to get those rebounds and clean that glass, and we kept them to offensive rebounds at a low number, so we were limiting their possessions. And so when they took a shot from the outside, we were making it difficult. And we also kept them from transition. We had 2 possessions where they ran us and got to the backboard and scored that layup. And so we did a pretty good job for the game to not allow that to be our hamstring.
That was one of the things I thought in that first half, the rebounds. I don't know, for example, if they were that close on offensive rebounds versus the second half, you guys seem to have a better understanding of what you need to do as you're boxing out and positioning yourself. Was that something that you guys saw at halftime, or?
Well, we did talk about it. I think part of what we needed to do is make sure that we weren't standing. I think especially going against their zone when we just turn and look, we're not able to take advantage of the zone. And that's part of what happens in zone rebounding, is that you're not next to a person. And so if that person doesn't move, then the zone works. It's when people move when the shot is attempted, and then the zone can't adjust fast enough. And so I think we got better attempts at the offensive rebounds when that happened. And on the other end of the floor, I think that we talked about, a check, clear, and then clean the glass. And I think we were trying to check and clean without clearing them out. And I think that our guys became much more cognizant of, we have to clear them out before we go to clean the glass. And I think that played well for us in the second half.
And who played well for you?
We had, again, a really nice combined effort. Colby Chapman led the points with 18, but we had multiple guys giving us that 4 to 8 point range.
What you like?
I love that because it rewards the guys for running the floor. It rewards the guys for getting open. It rewards the guys with assists for passing the ball. And so it gets multiple people involved, and it keeps us from standing around and watching. One of the things that really kills us is when we go into stall or isolation. So we have one guy that will stick with it, and it's usually not coming from a place of trying to be a ball hog. It's coming from a place of, I need to make something happen. And so they feel this pressure to do one-on-one stuff, and that tends not to help us in the long run. And so the more that we can catch, move without the ball, and catch and move, deliver with the ball, then that puts us in a better position overall. So I feel like that's what really helped us against Couts.
Talking with Chad Pulver, Rensselaer boys coach. Chad, you won 4 of your last 5 games. What's been the turnaround there in this little winning streak here?
Our guys have stayed pretty focused. Honestly, we had early on. We've had fluke injuries. One of our guys just had his ACL repaired and also an MCL partial tear, and so he was under the knife this last week. And so getting that repaired, and I don't think he's returned to school yet. So he's still recovering from that surgery late last week. So, losing someone in the first quarter of the first game of the season who was an emotional kind of anchor for our guys, that shook us. And so we went right from that opening game to where he goes down to a tournament that, was tough competition.
Right.
And we learned a lot in that, but we took 3 L's right in a row. And then coming out of that, going into North White and Twin Lakes, and both are pretty tough places to play on the road, and again turned somewhat of a game, but weren't able to cover it out and clear those wins. And so suddenly we're down 1-5,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a tough place to be, or 1-4, or whatever that was. And then losing to CC first game back, they're a good team. It came down a few possessions, but we needed to learn from that. And we have been trying to keep ourselves healthy, trying to keep ourselves a complete unit, but we've had COVID all this week, and we had guys that are out right now as I'm speaking to you. And so, yeah, again, I know all teams are going through this, but we've had about everything that can happen. And so each time we do that, we try to adapt and we try to grow and we try to change things around. And I hope that we're at the point of the season where when we pull that next guy up, he feels more prepared. When it's happening in the first 2-3 weeks of the season, that's very difficult. They are maybe not prepared for that moment to do as many minutes as we're asking them, or in the position that we're asking of them. And so a good example is one of our 6-foot range guys. We in this Central Catholic game, we put him on the 6'6" guy because he's strong enough and quick enough to make it miserable for the 6'6" guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's not usually where we start someone of that size, but it was something we tried, it worked, and so it gave us a new flavor. And then due to restrictions and quarantines, and we have to shuffle the deck again. And so now it's trying to figure out what shuffle is going to work on a team that's 9-1 coming in.
You guys, I was going to say,
Go
you
ahead.
guys have really, I think, started to feel some of the, closeness and, learning the team aspect of it. What are some of the things you feel like that, you're so close, but you got to correct these 2 things or 3 things?
So part of what we have to make sure that we do is we have to make sure that the post touches it on the inside. It's not always to feed the post and get out of the way so the post can score, but sometimes it's to feed the post so that way they will have to guard the post.
Just like what you did at the West Lafayette game, basically.
Yes.
Everybody's that one extra pass made a difference, it sounded like.
Yes, very much so. And I think that that was something that we have had to get better at doing. We still have work to do, but I think we are better today. In practice, there was a moment where we were doing zone work and we stopped practice, and it was the best zone possession that we've had. It went both sides of the floor. It went inside, went outside. We had feeds and then a wide open shot, and it didn't matter who took the shot. I think it was Tristan that took the shot, but it didn't matter at that point because everyone knew that's the shot we're going to take because we had waited for the moment of, oh, there he is, and then it was wide open. And so that's a maturity level that I think our team, when we speak about learning what it is, I think that's the chemistry that's starting to come together is, letting go of the ball because you know it's the right play. And then that person has the trust of you're going to catch it and you're going to make the play. Vice versa, I trust you to give me the ball. So if I'm in the post, for example, I'm not banging in the post for 6 seconds, and then I'm finally like, all right, I'm getting out. And then you throw the ball, and now both of us are mad because you didn't throw it to me on time and you didn't catch it. And that's a learning process. And I hope that we're over that hump.
How about the JV Bombers? How are they doing now?
They have done very well. They had some really good games. So with Central Catholic, they went in double overtime and ended up losing that game by, I think, 1 or 2. And then against Couts and West Lafayette, again, competitive games, tough games, good competition, just came up a little bit short. But the reality is that if someone's playing well in JV, I'm usually pulling them up to come do stuff with us. And so it's not like they get to keep a full roster all the time.
Right.
And so, that's part of the reality of it. And honestly, we want that to be a development program. And I think that Coach Fagley's done a really nice job getting those guys ready. And we're leaning on them more now than what we thought we might have just because of all the changes that have happened with our roster.
Give us a scouting report for this weekend. You got double weekend, right?
We do have a double weekend. We have North Judson on Friday, and they are home, and then we go on the road against West Central. So North Judson comes in 9-1, and with some strong athletic kids. They have played a lot of basketball. Our boys know them very well. They've been in the same youth league since they were probably in 3rd, 4th grade, and so they're not strangers to each other. They come to each other's other sporting events and razz each other and scream at each other from across the gym. And so I know there's a lot of energy that's going to be there Friday night, which is a lot. It's a ton of fun.
Sure.
And it's going to be a good competitive environment, and they're another two-way school. It's a school that if they keep playing the way they can, and we do the same, we could see them in the regional, which would be a really fun matchup.
Sure.
So we're not overlooking this team by any means. I think that it'll be a good challenge for us. I think they have some athleticism and some strength that will force us to do a couple things differently, meaning we have to make sure that they just can't drive in on us, or if they get so deep that they can just turn their back and post some of our guards up. So we've got to make sure that we keep them face up. We've got to make sure that we're forcing them to take some shots they don't want to take. And the other side of it is they do a full court press, they'll do a man-to-man, so we have to make sure we handle that. They blitz from the backside, so if we're not paying attention, they'll come and get a trap in the side, trap in the corner. So we have to make sure that we're strong with the ball and keeping our head on a swivel. And then I think that where our advantage is going with our bigs in order to put them in a disadvantage. And so if they're going to put one of their smaller guys, especially on someone like Taint Drone, which I think can be a matchup nightmare, you put a big on him, we'll take him outside, and you put a little on him, but we're going to take him down to the post. And so making sure that we play to our matchup advantages and having an inside-out game and getting those shots that are open, or if we're going to drive, we go downhill and not side to side. So some of those things, some of them are just straight-up fundamentals of what we're trying to do, but the other part of it is the execution of understanding their personnel and making sure that they play our style and dictate as much as we can.
What do you know about West Central then?
West Central's improved. So part of what's happened is, some of those kids that are now juniors have been playing since they were freshmen and, kind of getting pushed around, knocked around, and they're no longer just waiting to be pushed around, knocked around. They have some athletic kids. They're very structured in how they're attacking, but maybe not the best outside shooters. At the same time, they know how to score. They know how to get it inside. They work really hard. They crash very hard. And so if this is a game where we're just going to come in and think that we can just lop around and hop around on the outside, it will be in a tough basketball game. What I want to be able to do is come in and handle them from the beginning, make them have to play the full court, make them have to pick us up, get back, and then if we do our job on the defensive end, close all those gaps and force them to shoot outside. And if they hit outside shots, we'll pick that bullet as it comes, but we've got to force them to play in a style that they don't want to play.
Chad, thanks for coming out, and keep it going. Get a couple more wins this weekend. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
Thanks, guys.
Chad Pulver from the Rensselaer Central Bombers back to wrap things up on the Coach's Cage right after this.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics. Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals, increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan. Oh, come on, ref! That's simple human sense.
The Conrad Agency in Fowler and Brook. Call 765-884-0530.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a well of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Back on the Coach's Cage to wrap things up. Jeff, we've had a couple games postponed ourselves here. So
I'm kind of looking forward to get back into things.
It's been a long time since you've been on the court, haven't you?
I feel like that I got on a dry spell ever since I've had to have my Christmas with my family, and just like the curse is on me. But no, I'm actually looking forward to what we got coming up.
Well, hopefully. We'll say that. Hope we'll know for sure. But tentatively right now, we'll be over at North Newton for a girls-boys doubleheader on Friday. A big game for especially the North White girls if they want to. Well, both teams, both conference games.
Yeah,
so looking forward to that, and we'll live stream it too. So
very huge for both teams. You know, for the girls, you know that the North White's looking to keep their momentum going for the conference championship. The boys, North White Vikings, have been playing very decent, and going into your conference competitor, you're wanting to play your best. So
and this will be the first game they've played in a while too. Because they've
been on a spell as well. So
just like everybody has.
Oh
so.
Gosh. Anyway, good.
All right. So we'll see you Friday then. All right.
Sounds awesome.
I'd like to thank all the sponsors, Beth and the gang here at Arnie's, for making us feel welcome and feeding the coaches and giving them drinks too as well. And thanks Scotty Miller for running the show and Jeff for doing the camera and. For my partners, Jeff and Scotty, this is Bob Kurtz. Till we greet you Friday at 5:15 for the pregame show. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.